Welcome back, everybody, and more importantly, welcome to the second fight against the Pursuer in his lair. This is the rematch of the Pursuit's End fight. Let's see if we can actually take him down this time. We are on day 66 right now. If we fail this time, we're going to lose Titans. We're going to lose our only Logic Breaker Titan and our only Earthshaker Titan. We can craft more Earthshaker Titans, but we have time to be able to do this again in our calendar, but we were going to lose Titans, and I don't want to do that. So we're going to see if we can kick his butt now, because we were putting in everything that we have available to us into this fight. So let's jump over to our battle view. So let's see, where do we want to start here? One thing that I have to remember is that we have our 2 summoning charges for nymphs, and I have been saving those for this fight. I actually haven't used any nymphs at all this cycle, because every time we've gone close to the Pursuer, like even before we killed him the first time, I kept wanting to have in mind, like, okay, we might need these nymphs for a Pursuer fight. If we're going to need them for any fight, it's going to be this one. This is going to be a challenging fight. We got our butts handed to us really badly in the first fight against him in the Pursuit's End battle. We got, what, 3 wounds, I think? And then all of our Titans died. Like, we missed a lot of attacks. I think it was mainly in the power roll. Our attack rolls weren't too bad, but our power rolls were pretty bad. And he wiped the floor with us in just, what, I think maybe 3 primordial rounds or something like that. So we'll have to try to get as many attacks off him as quickly as possible. And I think with that, we can jump into our loadouts. Starting off, we have our Earthshaker Titan on Telebakis. Earthshaker Titan is wielding Perisclipios, which we had Pyramidion in the first fight, which is a great weapon, and then we temporarily lost that weapon because we evolved it to Perisclipios. Perisclipios is a 3-handed weapon, and we only just on day 65 or a few days ago crafted an Earthshaker Titan. So we finally got the ability to get this like amazing weapon back. You're not supposed to really have this weapon in the first cycle. I think it's very rare to be able to get it because we got Pyramidion so early on in the cycle. But we had enough fights to be able to evolve it to Perisclipios, and we are going to be using it now. And I actually do want to gain, so with Perisclipios, you can optionally gain Dread at the start of battle. You don't have to. But I am going to do that because it's going to make getting that first wound with Perisclipios harder. But if we get it, then we are going to get not 2, but 3 positive precision tokens, which is pretty incredible to get, since that would mean that every attack that Earthshaker does from that point on would have +4 to hit without any tokens in the Kratos pool there. So that would be ideal, but it will be hard to get that first wound off with him. Earthshaker is actually probably the Titan we want to go first, because he has the cold open ability, which says when you attack, if there are no opening or break tokens in the Kratos pool, place 1 opening and 1 break token in the Kratos pool. So we get to start off with something in there. So we will probably end up using Arrow Barrage. Like, ideally, what I would like to happen is we position the Pursuer, and then, you know, he does his first primordial round, and then we're able to get the first attack off with Earthshaker by getting behind the Pursuer into his blind spot. Because if we do that, we reduce the penalty of Dread from -4 to -2. We have a +1 from Perisclipios. We're now at a -1 penalty overall for the 2 hit. Then oh, actually, yeah, we can't use Arrow Barrage because then, or if we use Arrow Barrage, then we can't use Cold Open. So got to keep that in mind. So we're at -1 to hit. If we don't use Arrow Barrage, then we will be at, I think, +1 overall, because we will get +1 precision from being in the blind spot in general. And then we will also get +1 precision from an opening token in the Kratos pool. So we'd need 7 or higher to hit. And then if we use Cold Open, we also have the break token. Alternatively, we could, if we use Arrow Barrage, we're basically exchanging we're exchanging that break token for an opening token. So I think we'll probably, I think I'd probably prefer the break token in that case, because we can always re-roll the attack dice. Also, Pierce Clipios has 2 attack dice, so we really, I mean, it's great if both of them hit, but we really just need one of them to hit. We can still have a chance to wound if we only hit with one. Anyway, so we'll probably stick with Cold Open with him, and we will most likely, if he goes first and we're able to get into that spot in the blind spot of the pursuer, then we will also use a charge or force Kratos reaction for him, because that would allow him to get to 2 rage, and he would be able to use his nice Kratos pool or Kratos table there, because he does not leave any tokens at rage 1. Also, in this fight, I will probably be pausing the video a lot more frequently, because I am going to be taking a significant amount of time to think and try to plan out these moves. So apologies if there's any parts of the video that seem choppy, or if my voice cuts off and on. Either 1, I'm thinking, or 2, I am drinking water, because my throat is quite dry today. So I have my water and my honey and lemon over here. But anyway, later in the fight, I may also be just a little bit more quiet in general as I'm going through it. So, all right, that is Earthshaker. I think we covered most things with him. Also, important to note, a couple of things I have prioritized across the board here are, I want to give every Titan the ability to stand up. Titans either generally have knockback reduction or the ability to get extra movement. So our Earthshaker here, for instance, has can get extra movement from the Eolipile engine. So keep that in mind. I wanted to maximize the likelihood that every Titan can get an attack off in every Titan round. That's hard to do in the Pursuer fights, because he does a lot of knockback. He can do a lot of pushback. He can basically move Titans every which way along the map. And it's going to be unlikely that we're going to be able to get an attack off with every Titan every round, but we want to maximize the chance that we can make that happen. We also have a second chance on Earthshaker. So if we get a bad trauma draw, then we can use that second chance and redraw it. I'm really planning on using that only for things unless some other trauma is really going to screw us, but I mostly have that in mind for a disemboweled trauma in the grave trauma deck, or a failed Opal draw. We don't want to use that second chance willy-nilly. It is a very powerful ability, and we should use it only use it if we have to. Okay. Moving on from him. Also, actually, with the Earthshaker Titan, I will get a +1 precision if I attack from a rear space. I actually forgot about that, so that is good to know for Earthshaker's first attack window. I did think about that when I was setting up this loadout, but forgot about while I was explaining. Next, let's go to Solon. This is Solon is always in the spot, and has pretty much always been in the spot with either the Maze Mace or the Mazimer. Just kind of his favorite weapon. Also, I just like using that weapon because it's a big, bulky, giant thing that you might drag behind you, and I like Solon for kind of carrying that with him. It just visually makes sense to me when I'm looking at it on the board. Also, the board is a little crooked here. Let's go ahead and fix that. Shift it over. Okay. So what do we have with Solon? We have the Mazimer, which is excellent. It has +2 precision, 2 black dice, and a red dice. So the Mazimer and the Pyrrhusclypios are our two big main power weapons. They are going to be our main hitters. Pyrrhusclypios has the inherent +1 power. Mazimer has a danger gate behind that power. But we also have the Death Follows Nemos that we can use with Anacreon / Solon. If we need an extra red die, we can get it from them, or we can get it for him. But Earthshaker and Solon are going to be the two people that if we get a chance to try to wound a BP3, then we're most likely going to be taking that chance with them. Let's see, we have the Hecaton Panoply armor on Solon. So all Titans in this fight either have the Smelted Breastplate, because it's a great weapon or a great armor. It gives you 2 armor dice. You can get a Reinforce and you can get a second chance. You can get Tumble, excellent. Or Hecaton Panoply armor, another amazing armor. It has 3 armor dice. You can get a 4th with Reinforce. You can reduce knockback by up to 2. And if you're at very high danger, you get Rock Steady, so you can avoid being knocked down. So overall, really like that. And then again, Solon has an ability to stand up with Aeola Pile Engine. If he needs to move, get some additional movement, he's going to move 2 with. He can also use the Aeola Pile Engine to move 2. And I'm debating right now if I want to switch the Pursuer Imperative with the Iapetus Lifeguard between the Earthshaker and Solon, because I think maybe I'd rather have. Nah, we'll keep it on Solon because the Pyrrhusclypios has reach 2, whereas Mazimer does not have reach. So maybe we need that extra movement with Solon. So we'll keep that as is. I think that's all the important stuff with him. He does still have the Fated Nemos left behind, which says that he cannot go last. So we have to keep that in mind. I don't think I've messed that up at all in any of his fights, which is honestly incredible. I'm shocked by that. All right, now let's jump over to Ulyssia. Let's slide that Pursuer wing out of the shot there. Ulyssia has the Maze Rake because I don't really have anything better. It's the weakest weapon that out of like the other ones that I have right now. I mean, having Pyrrhusclypios, Mazimer, and then we'll see Theseus's Razor soon. Having those weapons is excellent. They're all outstanding. The Maze Rake is good. It's not on the same level as of those other two though. If we get to 5 danger, the Maze Rake does get better because we get to leave 2 opening tokens, which is, to me, it does raise the value of Maze Rake significantly, and that's part of the reason why Ulyssia is going to be one of our tank titans early on in the fight. We're going to want to funnel attacks towards her. Number 1, because she has the weakest weapon out of the group. Number 2, she has this Aegis bred trauma table, which allows her to get armor reroll 1. So she has, not only does she have the 3 armor dice from Hecaton Panoply armor, she can get a 4th with Reinforced. She can also reroll 1 of them. So we have a high chance of being able to get danger reduction if she gets attacked. But keeping in mind that we will suffer Killjoy if we reduce danger to 0 from an attack. I'm not too worried about getting in situations like that. It's feasible to reduce danger to 0 for like a toying pursuer. It's much harder to do it for a non-toying pursuer. Let's see. Ulyssia has the ability to stand up from Spring Harness. She has some knockback reduction from both the only from Hecaton Panoply armor, but she also has the ability to get extra movement using her Minoan Heritage card. She also can use Familiar Curse, her other Nemos ability, to have the pursuer turn towards her. So that may help us increase the likelihood that she gets attacked if we need her to be attacked, as opposed to another Titan that we don't want getting targeted early in the battle. That being said, like, we don't necessarily just want to funnel everything towards Ulyssia early on. There might be cases where it's like, okay, if we get to like 9 danger with her and everybody else is still at 0, we might want to start funneling those attacks towards Logic Breaker, for instance, who we will get to in a second. Because we don't just want to lose a Titan if we have the ability to avoid it, because going from potentially 4 attacks per Titan round to 3 attacks per Titan round, like, that is where we're really going to start to see the attrition, because we need to get through, we need to try to get through this fight as quickly as possible, because Pursuer packs a punch, and if we start losing Titans early, it does hurt our ability to do that significantly. Lastly, we have our Logic Breaker. Logic Breaker is our other tank Titan, although he will be kind of like our secondary tank because we don't want him taking the danger early necessarily. He comes equipped with Theseus's Razor, which is an outstanding weapon. It has 1 attack die, but it has +3 to hit, and it lands with 4 red dice for the power roll when it hits. That combines pretty well with Logic Breaker's inherent auto break 1. This is the first Titan that we have that doesn't just have a plain old red die for their Titan die. He has red die plus auto break 1, so he will always get a break token or an extra break token in that Kratos pool when he gets to his power roll. We give him the Temenos scale shield as well, because we might want to block a hit from the Pursuer with it, but really the primary reason is that we want it to load up Logic Breaker with as many second chances as we could. So we're going to start this card, I think you can start it on either side. We're going to start it on the side that offers the block and the free rerolls of the evasion dice. However, after like maybe even in the first Titan round, we may want to consider switching it to the Temenos scale umbrella, so we get that second chance ability from that side. But we'll take advantage of the shield aspect of it in the earlier part of the fight if we can. Let's see, yeah, we have Smelted Breastplate because that also has second chance on it. So Logic Breaker has 2 charges of second chance overall. I gave him the Vulture Mask as well. I was debating about this one. I initially had the Primordial Lure on him to be able to control BPs early on in the fight and cycle out high ones if we got like a BP 3 too early. But I swapped it out for the Vulture Mask because I am a little concerned about flare responses. They can be kind of brutal. Like some of if you can trigger the normal effects of them, like there's like I think it's gain fate equal to the number of ambrosia tokens you have, gain danger equal to the number of ambrosia tokens you have. Those can screw you a little bit, but they don't necessarily have to. They're not terrible. The downside is if you don't have enough ambrosia tokens across your Titans to trigger them, and you end up triggering a signature, like signature on the non-twing Pursuer is like, it's tough. It's very possible to just lose a Titan off of 1 signature. You're almost certainly going to be drawing at least a major trauma, likely higher, likely a grave or even an obol. And so being able to reduce the likelihood that we are going to trigger those flare cards, I'd rather take that, but I don't know, maybe that's a mistake. I could see that being something we have a missed opportunity on, in that Vulture Mask ends up, we look back on it and we think, okay, well, Vulture Mask really didn't help us in this fight. It does, at higher dangers, it does give you an ambrosia limit of 5, which is nice because the default limit is 4. So if Logic Breaker is later into the fight and he has ambrosia tokens from some of the stronger Pursuer attacks, there's maybe a less likely chance he'll die from ambrosia. Logic Breaker also has the ability to stand up. He would use the Someone Waiting Nemos to be able to do that. He has knockback reduction from imprisonment. And yeah, and that's kind of the main stuff there. Importantly, yeah, I mentioned this when we were talking about the Logic Breaker Titan in the previous video, but Logic Breaker Titan does have an amazing ability called Logic Break, which says if you gain a fate, then when you survive an obol, you can perform a combat action. If you can perform that combat action immediately, and that can cause a chain break. I can't remember if in Discord they talked about this at one point, like ITU weighed in on this. I can't remember if they said you can treat it as a bonus attack or if it's just treated as like it's in a combat action that you must use immediately, and if you use it immediately, it chain breaks. I kind of forget the nuance and the differences there, but basically that's why he's one of the tanks. Like if Pursuer is attacking him later on in the fight and he draws a you live obol, like you have to draw you live obol. It doesn't count if you say draw you died and then awaken. That doesn't count as surviving an obol. Surviving an obol means you drew the you live obol. But we will maybe have a 50-50 chance of drawing that, and if we do and he draws that, then we can get a bonus attack off. And bonus attacks are amazing, especially in fights where you're really trying to blitz the primordial and kill him as quickly as possible, which we are trying to do here. Okay, I think I covered most of the things I need to cover. The last thing I wanted to say is that something I could see being a reason that we lose this fight is Ambrosia. I haven't done much at all, if anything, to really try to account for the risk of Ambrosia. Maybe maybe I just haven't been screwed over enough by it yet in this cycle run, because every fight that I've had with the Pursuer, I think we had in the previous fight with the Pursuer for Pursuit's End, we might have had a Titan die from Ambrosia death, but overall it hasn't really been a big issue. So I didn't really focus on trying to work around that because I had other things I wanted to prioritize, like reflex and standing up help me maximize the likelihood that I will attack with a Titan in a Titan round. And so that was my biggest priority. For our Argo abilities, we have the same ones that we've been using for, I think, every video, but I've been using these ever since I got each of them during the cycle. We have Arrow Barrage, which is outstanding. I mean, that Argo ability stays with me for a long time. Force Kratos reaction, allowing you to gain a rage, also great. It is really good for being able to control who the priority target is, as well as being able to get some important bonuses that you might need on your Kratos ability table. And Pursuer Protocol, which is extra reflex charges. So that, yeah, okay, now I think we're good. I think we're good there. Okay, I think we can do our primordial positioning and get this fight started. Let me think if there's anything else we might be missing before we start. I am missing something. I need to change to my battle music, not just the chill lo-fi. I need some more intense fighting music. Bear with me while I switch over to that. I guess I could pause and switch. I will do that. Okay. Correct music is on. Am I missing any other start of battle effects? I don't think so. I think the only thing we have is Perisclipios. Taking one last look at everybody's loadouts. Is there anything I want to change? No. All right, let us do the primordial positioning. Draw our minor trauma here. we have Battle Cry. So he's going to be facing south. Okay. Okay. I think that's good in that he will be more likely to target Ulyssia. I like that. I like that. Put that back into the back of the deck. Turn my music up a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't start bleeding through into the microphone. And now we are going to draw an AI card. Ah, this is exciting. I'm nervous. I really want to win this fight. I want to beat this guy in this cycle. I want to kill this dude. Come on, I'm hyping myself up right now. I'm just trying to get myself going before we actually start this fight. All right, we're doing this. We are doing this in this fight. I'm not losing this. We're gonna kick his ass. Pincer Pierce. The pincer comes down, trying to pin you to the ground. This is going to be furthest Titan in front in range. That's going to be a tie between Ulyssia and Earthshaker, so we will go to Ulyssia since she has the PT. Move and attack. Let's see, we can go boom, boom, boom. I think we would, so he can go either here or here, and I think we almost certainly want to prefer here because then Earthshaker Titan is right there. You can get into his blind spot and get all those bonuses from being there. Okay, I think we like this. What's some gated effects we have to be aware of? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting caught up in my own head here with... That's not Ulyssia. This is Ulyssia. All right, here is our attack. The gated effects that we could have coming up would be 3 or more fate, suffer knockdown. But we are not at risk of that because we have 0 fate. And yeah, okay. So we're going to get 3 dice to evade. Moving my whole tray there. 10 or higher evades. No evasion bonus, so yes, we do need 10 or higher. Boom. I was going to say 3 10s. Not quite there. If we add them together, we get 12. Can we count that? I will probably not spend... Oh, that's getting kind of loud. I will probably not spend any fate to re-roll these dice because I am not confident in my ability to get at 10, and instead we'll use that fate to do reinforce 1. So right now we are at risk of suffering 4 danger and 1 ambrosia. So we'll get 3 armor dice from, like, just naturally from the Panoply armor, and then we will spend a fate to reinforce 1. Get a 4th die, and we have an armor reroll. Is there anything else that we are missing here that I might need to think about? No, I think we're good. All right, I'm gonna roll these dice. I have a new way that I've been rolling power dice. It's been working for me in the last, like, what, fight or two? Boom. Well, didn't work that time. So not that. That's 1. Boom. 2. Boom. 3. Okay, I'm not even going to use that armor reroll because I am... Getting rid of 3 danger is perfect. I will take that absolutely. Because that's going to put us at just 1 danger. We're not going to have to deal with Killjoy because I do not want to have to deal with Killjoy this early in the fight. So we'll get 1 danger and 1 ambrosia, and then we will resolve our trauma draw. All right, we have our minor, these out of the way, minor trauma. Glimpse weak spot. Look at the top card of the BP deck. You may put it back on top of the BP deck or into the discard pile. Okay, I will always take a positive trauma. That is very nice. Put that into the back of our deck there. And we will reveal the top BP card. And it said, I need to look at that trauma again. Did it say put it in the, we could put it in the discard? Yeah, put it back on top or onto the discard pile. Okay. Large Mothwing for AT. I don't think we can get any lower than that for a BP1. Roll for any BP for the Pursuer. Wound effect. We're just gonna look at the wound effect because I'm so like, yeah, we're gonna look at the wound effect. Have high confidence that we're gonna wound this. So knock down, knock back 7, but there is a window of opportunity. This is either one of two or the only BP one that has a window of opportunity before the knockback of a wound effect. So this is good. I think this is a good BP to start off with. If we crit, we can get Pursuer gains 1 negative to hit token. I mean, that's, I would not frown upon that. So I'm just going to keep that in our pile face up like that, just because, I mean, we can. But if it has to get shuffled back into the deck for any reason, then it would go face down. But I'm just going to keep it revealed like that. Then we move into our the knockdown there. We don't have 3 fates, so we don't have to worry about that. Boom, first primordial attack resolved. Then we're gonna go into the signature. Closest Titan in front in range. This is also gonna be Ulyssia. Let's see if we can avoid that this fate gate effect down here as well. So we're gonna get 4 dice. We need, those were not intentional rolls. So we need a 4th one. Need 10 or higher to evade here. That is no evades. Not feeling very evasive today. Okay, so we're about to take 4 hits. Each hit deals 2 danger. We're gonna get, yeah, we'll gain a fate so we can reinforce on this one as well. Keep us down at 2 fate. Let's roll all these at a time, at the same time. Boom. Just 1, that would be a great power roll. So look at it positively from that angle. We'll re-roll one of these. All right, so we avoid 2 of them. So we're gonna take 6 danger. That's gonna bring us, that's gonna bring us to a grave trauma already. But hey, yeah, she does not have second chance. So if this is a disemboweled, we're kind of screwed here. Yeah, right, so we would have gotten 8 danger, brings us down to 6. So we're gonna go from 1 danger to 7. Is there anything that anything special we're gonna get from that? We do get her 2 opening tokens from her Maze Rake now. Her Minoan Heritage can get +2 movement. Familiar Curse can get, she can take a condition from another Titan when they're about to get it. Okay. Yeah, she did not crit evade that. Should I? No, I should not have re-rolled any evasion dice there. It would have been silly. Okay, this is a grave trauma. We need to pull here. Ooh. Well, it's not a disemboweled. Maze touched. I don't think Maze touch negatively impacts us in this fight. I'm gonna double check the other primordial sheets because I think for primordials like Labyrinthoros and Temenos, Maze touch does come into account, and I think it says it on their primordial sheet. Yeah, it's part of their Maze sense trait. Yes. Okay. So I don't think it applies anything for this Pursuer fight, but hopefully we'll get rid of it. Maybe we'll end up doing a timeline battle against Labyrinthoros next to try to remove that Maze touched. Okay, let me make a note of this on her card here. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna pause. Okay. Just made a note on there. I don't put this in, what's it called? Scribe, just because I know I'll forget about it. Like for some of these effects, I need the visual reminder in front of me. So it helps. Also, speaking of which, are there any traits I need to put a visual reminder for? No. Okay. I'm just making sure we're not missing anything from the battle setup as well. I know it's a little late for that, but yeah, okay, we cannot use, or I'm sorry, we don't have to worry about the memories into nightmares trait for this one, since it's the second time we're doing this fight. I don't think that really helps us much anyway. Oh, it does reduce the cost of that turn the primordial in your direction. Okay. Or it avoids increasing that cost, I think is a better way of putting it. All right. Then, so we resolve the trauma draw. We do not have 3 or more fates, so we don't have to worry about that effect, but Ulyssia is already not looking so great. But she survived. That is the main thing. Okay, so let's think about this. Right, I'm going to pause it while I think about this, and I'll explain how I want to handle things. Okay, here's what I'm thinking so far. We still want to go first with Earthshaker. So we could have him go here or here. Probably, yeah, maybe just here, because then getting in the blind spot would give him, reduces the penalty of dread to -2. We get +1 from a broken promise, so that's -1 total. We get +1 from Pierce Clipios, that's 0 total. Then we get +1 from being in the blind spot, that's +1. And then we would have an opening and a break from Cold Open, that would be +2 and a break. So that is pretty sweet. We, assuming we wound with him, we would then have to, we know we're going to have to avoid the knockback and knockdown. I'm not sure if I want to reflex with his Iapetus Lifeguard or with a Pursuer Protocol charge. Probably do Iapetus Lifeguard because he can afford to gain the fate. Maybe it depends on how many rerolls we have to do with Pierce Clipios during the attack, but I think I'd prefer to use his Iapetus Lifeguard and keep these charges free for when a Titan really can't afford to gain the fate, or if their reflex is already exhausted. But we will also use the Forced Kratos reaction before attacking with him. So then in his second ability window, he'll be able to leave 2 opening from Pierce Clipios, and then a break and an opening from his Kratos table. So that's going to be 3 opening and a break. We don't need opening as much for our Titans, but we will probably then go second with Ulyssia, because at that point she would still be in, she can still attack without having to move. So that's not a huge priority for us right now. And actually maybe she would want to move away anyway, so she's not adjacent to the Pursuer. But because most likely we're going to get a BP1 on top of the deck again, and we want to attack with her sooner because she has the quote-unquote weakest weapon. So we want to get her attack out of the way first. Assuming we wound with her, our tokens at that point would look like we could get 2 opening from the Maze Rake, and then we'd probably choose 2 break. So she'd be at 2 opening, 2 break. Then from there, we'd have to go with Solon because we cannot go with Solon last. Yeah, basically it comes down to like, I want to put off Solon's attack as late into this round as I can because he has such a good weapon, but I can't go last with him. That's kind of another thing I could see myself regretting in this fight is, well, I gave the guy who can't go last one of the most powerful weapons, and that made it too restrictive for when I attack with him. So but I think it's okay. I think if he goes third in this fight, that's fine, and then that would leave Logic Breaker to attack fourth. So I'm happy with thinking about that attack order because I think it's going to leave good tokens for us. At that point, we'll have used the Force Kratos reaction. We won't have used Arrow Barrage yet, and we may end up wanting to use Arrow Barrage for a break token for somebody. Maybe even for, and maybe it depends on what BPs come up. Yeah, so we have the flexibility to be able to use that, but I'm happy so far with like how Titans should be able to leave tokens for their second ability windows here. Get this hair out of the way. Yeah. There we go. Okay. The last thing I want to consider is, do I want to try to think about where we have the pursuer facing and who he's trying to target. So if we go in that order, I think Ulysses is still going to remain with the priority target. Yeah, and I don't think we can avoid that. We could avoid it if we don't use the Force Kratos reaction on Earthshaker, which, I mean, we could forego Force Kratos reaction on him, but if we do that, then the only way we get the PT off of Ulysses is if we, for example, go second with Logic Breaker and then use Force Kratos reaction with him to go from 2 rage to 3. That would get him the priority target. But then we're leaving Ulysses to go last, which let me think about this. Maybe I would prefer that. I think I do prefer that. We're maybe a little less likely to wound with the Maze Rake if she's attacking 4th. Oh, excuse me. However, getting the priority target on Logic Breaker would be very nice for a few reasons. Number one, if Ulysses takes another attack, she's going to be drawing an obol. She's probably going to die, but she's also probably going to be putting the what's it called? Fate Worse Than Death, or what's the name of it here? Not Fate Worse Than Death. The You Died Horribly obol. She would be putting that into the obol deck. She'd most likely be going over 14 danger. I mean, maybe even going over 18 danger, depending on what AI is in there, or how she takes the attack. So if we pivot now to attacks going after a Logic Breaker, maybe that's the right thing to do, because we have the Solitude Nymph that we can use. I even put those cards over here so that I remember to try to use them. So that if we need to, we have to wait for at least one Titan to die. Okay, so for both Solitude and Amalthean Nymphs are like the main ones that I will probably be using, and both of them require a Titan to have died or drawn an obol. Depths Nymph will help us if we have an Ambrosia problem. That one requires any single Titan has at least 4 Ambrosia tokens. So that might be hard to trigger. So Depths Nymph can be good in this fight, but I think it's hard to meet the requirements for it without already being at a point where you're like a point of no return. And what's the effect of it? Remove all Ambrosia tiles, is that right? Gain 6 fate as a group. Immediately remove all terrain tiles with the Ambrosia keyword and discard all Ambrosia tokens from all. Okay, but that is pretty incredible. I mean, in this fight, that is outstanding. Solitude Nymph is probably the one that, I mean, the Amalthean Nymph combined with Logic Breaker is also amazing, because it's just treated as if they drew You Live Obel. Which would meet the effect of his logic break ability. Okay. So the nymphs, I need these could mean, like, that could be the difference between success or failure in this. Need to remember to use those. All right. So we know that we want to go first with Earthshaker. So let's do that. And we are not going to use force Kratos reaction on him like we originally expected, because we want to get some of that. We instead want to use that for logic breaker so that he can go up to 3 rage and take the PT token from Ulyssia. All right, I think I'm happy with this. I need water. At some point in this fight too, I'll probably actually just take a break in general and like go get some food or something like that. Maybe I'll do it after the next primordial round, because I am hungry and there will probably be a point where I just need to like come back, approach it with a fresh mind. I'm not trying to rush this battle. All right, so Earthshaker is going. We're not going to take advantage of the reach because being in the blind spot gives us too many benefits right now. In future attacks, he's probably okay with using the blind spot, or with using the reach. All right, let's get our first attack in. So we're going up to rage 1. We will use his cold open ability to get an opening and a break in the pool. We have -2 from Dread, because -2 precision, because we are in I'm just making sure I'm not breaking any rules here. We are in the rear space. So we have -2 instead of -4. We have +1 from Perisclipios. We have +1 from an opening. We have +1 from being in the blind spot. And we have +1 from a broken promise, which gives us 1 for being in the rear space. So we're at a net total of +2 to hit. So we need 6 or higher. Okay. Checking for anything else here. All right, let's do this, baby. Come on. Okay, that's 1 hit. Oh man, I thought that 2 was a crit for a second. Okay, we're gonna gain a fate. We're gonna re-roll this. 6 or higher. Come on. The 2 again. All right, that's okay. That's okay. We can do it with just 1 hit. Because we know we only need the 4. We are going to get a black, a red, and a red. And we have 1 power, so we need to get 3 on the dice. And we just need 2 power symbols and a break. That's the minimum we need. All right. Boom. First die is a blank. We do have a power reroll at least. We have just 1 because that's his first Kratos thing. Okay, so we'll probably be using it on that. Oh, that is amazing. Oh, that's all we need. Woohoo! Okay, off to a good start. So that's total of 3, 4, 5. 5 power if we include the 1 from the Perisclipios. Oh, how can you read all these things in the cards? I mean, if you know what you're looking at, you can kind of read everything. Yeah, I'm sure if you watch this on a phone, it's probably pretty annoying to read. Oh, actually, also if I shift this board over just a little bit so we don't see those. Oh, that's a little bit nicer to look at. Okay. You can just see the cards in between, like the board view and the dice over here. So, all right, we wound that BP. Oh wait, before we go back to that view, we need to do knockdown and knockback 7. We will use Iapetus Lifeguard and gain a fate. Reflex 1. We dealt that wound, so we're getting rid of the dread, and we're to get 3 precision tokens because we normally get 2, and then Perisclipios allows us to get a 3rd. We don't get to use the other benefit for Perisclipios of lose danger equal to the wounded BP's level because we're already at 0. I do need to remember that ability. That's another good thing about, like, if we do use him as a tank at some point, or if he has to take some attacks, Perisclipios can help him maybe come back down on danger. Okay. So now we're going to take this and we're going to get our first wound. 1 for 1, baby. 1 for 1. Those red dice come out. Oh wait, I need to do the escalation. So we are going to put a BP2 in here. Do a little shuffling. Just stop in 3, 2, 1. It's a BP1 on top. And we're going to take out an AI1, put in an AI2. We're going to shuffle that around. Stop in 3, 2. Oh gosh. 1. Okay. We have an AI1 on top. Okay. Now let's go back to this view. We are in our second ability window now, and the only thing that we're going to get in terms of tokens is 2 opening from our Perisclipios. Okay, and I think we're done now, correct? Double checking everything. Yes. Yes, I think we're done. Why is my music gone? Okay. Ooh, something I did not take into account. Maybe I want to use that window of opportunity that we would have had from that wound, is that Logic Breaker is actually not in range to attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He would need at least 6 to get in range. 1, 2, 6. Yeah, he would need at least 6. He doesn't have any movement bonus, so he would have had to use a reflex during that window to be able to get in range. Am I okay with using his Iapetus Lifeguard this early? I actually may use that Pursuer Protocol to give him that reflex instead of Iapetus Lifeguard because number one, I do, like, my whole plan was to get him the priority target token. He needs to attack this round. So I'm lucky I have that opportunity window that I can be able to do this. Because otherwise I would not be able to move in to attack. So yeah, I really lucked out there with not thinking of that. But the reason I might want to use the Pursuer Protocol instead of the Iapetus Lifeguard is if he's going to be getting attacked next, I think he's going to quickly be gaining fate because we will probably want to use that reinforce on him. That's one fate. We may want to use the block from a shield. That could be another fate. Like, we're easily looking at being able to get to 2 to 3 fate during that first attack, and we probably want to avoid doing that. So generally I would try to prefer to use the Iapetus Lifeguard early instead of using a charge of Pursuer Protocol, but I think in this case I'm going to use the Pursuer Protocol. So during this wound card, when we had that window of opportunity where Earthshaker reflexed back 1, retconning this so that the Logic Breaker also used a reflex and moved, let's say, here. So now he's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'm just double checking to make sure too that I had no other things that could give me bonus movement. He has Theseus's Logic trait, which would allow him to ignore an obstacle or chasm terrain tile. That wouldn't help us here because those ambrosia pools are neither obstacles nor chasms. Okay. So now thinking about where I want to move him, I could either move him, so we were going to go with Logic Breaker. So let's go to his card, let's activate him. We have two options here. We can move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and get behind him and say, oh, it's great. We have, we'll have +1 to our precision from that blind spot. However, there's a risk that the pursuer would have knockback on this BP. And if I get knocked back, I am going to be knocked into that column terrain tile, which could cause crash. I have tumble, so I might be able to avoid it. But if I get crash and I suffer knockdown, I'm going to spend this primordial round knocked down, which I cannot risk. Because if I'm knocked down and I have to draw an Obel, I can't use second chance. I can't use logic break. That +1 precision is not worth it at all for that. So instead we're going to move here. So if we get knocked back, we'll just get knocked back across the ambrosia pool. And so when we have to come in to make another attack, maybe we have to cross that ambrosia pool, maybe we get some ambrosia tokens, whatever. Still, I'm more willing to accept. I like this position more because I think it has a lesser chance to screw me over. Okay, yeah, I think I'm happy with this. Before we attack, I'll use Force Kratos reaction. So go from 1 rage to 2. During this attack, I'll get, assuming it hits, which we would have +5 precision to this, even without that bonus precision behind him. So we would only need a 3 or higher to hit. So pretty likely to hit. Assuming we hit, we'll get an auto break 1. It's a BP 1, so it's a 4 to 6 AT range. Ooh, I'm tempted to use Arrow Barrage for a break token, so I can get 2 break in there. But I might need it more for Ulysses' turn. Because, okay, let's just assume that Logic Breaker wounds. He'll leave a healthy amount of tokens because he'll be at 3 rage, so we could maybe do like, well, he'd have to get, he has overbreak and not just regular break, which this version of overbreak is so lame. It's so dumb, honestly. Yeah, there's the overbreak by definition for what Logic Breaker has basically says like you get a break token, or if it's overbreak 1, for instance, you get X break token or 1 break token if you go 1 power over the AT value. But if you meet the AT value or fall short of it, you don't get a break. So it's pretty underwhelming. It kind of sucks. Compared to, well, I guess in Kingdoms Forlorn, I forget, I know there's Envenomed, which is like the good overbreak. Is there also just a regular overbreak that's like similar to this one? I don't think there is. Anyway. So he could maybe leave like 2 break in an opening or something like that. Assuming he gets high enough power on, I mean, he might leave, at worst, he just leaves an opening. That could be the worst. in which case we would need that break for Solon, or even Solon's not going to leave a lot of tokens in the pool. Yeah, Solon's not going to leave much at all. So either Solon or Ulysses is almost certainly going to need this more than Logic Breaker needs it, so we're not going to use Arrow Barrage next. Or for Logic Breaker's turn. So we were just going to attack. We're going to go from 2 rage to 3. That gets us the priority target token. And we will roll the hit now. All right, yeah, so we have +3 from our weapon. We have +2 from opening tokens. That's 5. So we need a 3 or higher on the die to hit. That's a 4. I'm not going to push my luck and try to crit. We're just going to take that hit there. And then we get our auto break 1 from Logic Breaker's ability. Draw a BP. Small Mothwing. Ah, dang. He's gonna get knocked down anyway. Shoot. Shoot, shoot, shoot. And there's nothing we can do for that. Ah, man, that stinks. Unless we fail. Immediately draw and resolve a flare card. I mean, failing could be the better thing. Oh, I do not like being knocked down with Logic Breaker as we're about to go into or if he's about to be the one that's going to be taking primordial attacks. We don't know that he's going to be targeted. It's just most likely if he has the PT token. But the Pursuer has a variety of targeting instructions. Ah, man, okay. Well, let's just roll it and see what we get. That's going to be 3 reds, or 4 reds from the Theseus' Razor, and then a 5th red from Logic Breaker. We have power reroll 3. Wow, pretty good. So we definitely wound. Unless we wanted to try to do power reroll to not wound. I mean, there's a chance that not wounding this is the better outcome, but I can't in good conscience, like, if I were to look back at this and be like, oh, I lost this fight and there was that BP that I wounded and then I chose to re-roll it and not wound, I would be so pissed at myself, much more than like I just chose to accept this wound. So, all right, we're gonna take that. So the wound effect, knockdown, knockback 7. Let's get a knockdown card. There's nothing that, yeah, tumble doesn't help. Tumble only helps against crash, right? I'm just gonna double check. Why not? I can still live in denial. No, what am I was looking at crash. What I really need to look at is tumble. Tumble. When you're about to suffer crash. Yeah, not just knockdown, but when you're about to suffer crash. Okay, we can reduce the knockback if we want to by up to 2. So we could reduce it to 5 and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think we will do that because then we're not landing on the Ambrosia pool and we're still a little bit closer. So if we need to move up next round, we can still be more likely to be in range. Yeah, and I think we can use that because that ability has no cost. I don't know. I know in the last, was it the last Hecaton video? I think I feel like every time I get into the situation where I have not, I wonder how it was worded in Kingdoms Forlorn actually. But yeah, with this, I always get into the situation where it's like, oh, I'm knocked down. Like, what things can you do or not do? I don't know. Okay, I went back and deep dive into this again. Yes, I still feel confident that you can reduce the knockback here, even if you are knocked down. I saw other conversations in Discord that were saying that knockdown, the general understanding is that knockdown does not prevent you from using constant or passive abilities. It just prevents generally active abilities. Additionally, not necessarily applicable here, but exhausting a card does not remove its does not prevent you from using the constant or passive abilities. At least that was from a Q&A in the Discord. All right. Anyway, I am going to, let's see. So we wounded, we knocked back 7. All right, we have 2 wounds now. Bump this up to 2. Go to this window. Now we need to get a BP2 in our BP deck. After 3, 2, 1. Get a BP2 on top. Ooh. We will remove an AI1. This one. Get an AI2 here. Stop in 3, 2, 1. Be an AI1 on top. So, oh, shoot. What was our total power? Okay, shoot. Because I have the ability to do this, I'm gonna stop this video. I'm gonna have to edit these videos together. I'm gonna stop this video. I'm gonna go back to see what my power roll was because I just screwed it up. Because I may actually want to have done power rerolls so that I can exceed the AT value so that I can try to get some of the overbreak. So yeah, I'm gonna have to edit this together, but that's fine. Okay, so this was our power roll. We needed an AT of 4, so we got 4 exactly here. And we have power reroll 3, so I definitely would have rerolled these 2. I don't think I would have rerolled any of these ones. So any power that we get here could help us get overbreak. Okay, amazing. So we needed 4, but we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 7, so we could do up to overbreak of 3. All right, so take these out now. Let's see. So I'll get at least 2 overbreak. And then I'm deciding between, do I want a 3rd overbreak or do I want an opening? With Solon, I'd be able to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'd be able to get adjacent to him. I think I'll go with a break token. BP2s, I think, can go up to 8 AT. I think they're like 6 to 8 range. So I'm more likely to need a break than I am an opening. Let's see, do we have anything else? Yeah, I mean, that was his movement and his attack, so his turn is done. Okay, I think I'll finish this Titan round, then do the Primordial round, and then take a break for like 20 minutes and just pause the recording. May need to let the microphone charge too, because I didn't charge it after the last video. Alright, so we are going next with Solon because we have to. And he's going to move. Actually, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, that'd be 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We will go. Oh, do we want to? We're only going to leave one token for Ulyssia. That's Solon's kind of biggest downfall right now, is it doesn't really leave tokens. So I think we need to save Arrow Barrage for her. So let's take a Rage as we attack. Get that hair out of here. And we need a 6 or higher to hit. All right, let's do this. Come on. We're gonna crit. Nope, we're gonna Fate reroll. Crit! Let's go. Let's go. Ooh, okay. Oh, Pursuer gains 1 negative precision token. That could be huge. That could be huge. Okay, we're gonna get 2 black dice. I'm feeling these 2. Charge these ones up. Feel good about those. Charge this guy up. Then we're gonna get 2 red dice. No auto anything. All right, we're gonna do this dramatic. We're gonna do this one at a time. Boom. Okay, not amazing, not terrible. That's terrible. We have 1 power reroll. That's great. That is enough. Okay, because that puts us at 6. I don't get any penalty for using this reroll. I don't really get any benefit from it either, but hey, I'm gonna reroll anyway because fuck you, Pursuer. I've been trying to be better about cursing in the videos, but this fight, I don't know. I might not be able to hold back. All right. Hell yes, we crit on him. With a precise attack, you leave the fin in tatters, making the monster lose balance. Pursuer gains 1 negative precision token. This will make it a little bit easier to evade his attacks. And his attacks are brutal, so that could save us in some cases. All right, you black dice deserve a little break. Put you back there. We will put this in our wound pile. We're now up to 3 wounds. Okay, this is going well so far. I'm gonna BP3 in here. I don't like getting a BP3 in this early, but we'll deal with it. We're gonna stop in 3, 2, 1. BP1. Okay, it's probably a good thing. It's actually a very good thing because we're going with Ulyssia next. And then I'm going to take out an AI2. And I didn't mention this at the beginning of the video, but or I did not. I muttered there. Our ultimate is on top of the AI3 deck, so that should be a blast. Stop in 3, 2, 1. AI1. Oh, this leaves a big question. Oh. There is a pretty reasonable, it may be worth it to not wound here, to not try to attack. But an AI1 against Ulyssia is very likely to kill her. Okay, let's finish resolving this. What's it called? Oh, I'm sorry. I did not cut over to this view. We have a BP1 and AI1 on top. Our ultimate AI3 is in that deck somewhere. I feel like I don't remember what his ultimate is. Is it the Judgment? I think it's like a Judgment. Is it a zone attack? No, I think it's a Judgment. I think it's a Judgment that can just like kill you outright. Ooh, okay. All right, let's finish this. Let's go back to Solon's view. We will clear the Kratos pool and we will get let's do a single break. Ooh, all right. And that will end, yeah, because I'm used to him having reposition from those, what was it, the Hermes tatters, but he does not have any reposition. I think the only person with reposition is Ulyssia. All right, that ends his turn. Okay. I mean, oh, wait a second. Ooh. Oh. Oh, I know what I want to do. Okay, I'm gonna retcon something. I don't think the information has changed, so that anything that's changed would not have changed this decision, and I feel confident in saying that. I forgot that Ulyssia has a familiar curse. She's at 4 danger, and it says when another Titan is about to gain a condition card or a condition token, gain it instead. So I can have her suffer the knockdown instead. This would have happened on the Logic Breaker attack. So she is knocked down. Logic Breaker is standing up. Oh, this is big. This is great. Because now I also feel better about not attacking on Ulyssia's turn, because she can stand up and then she can use her combat to get both of these things back. Then the question will become like, where do I want to put her? All right, so we are on, oh yes, I am glad I remembered that and it wasn't too late. I mean, I'm sure some people probably consider that to be too late, but this is a hard fight. I am taking what I can get here. Okay, so the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna stand up. No question about that. Stand up, get rid of this. Then where do we want to move? Let's talk through this out loud. What are the options? What are the most likely options for targeting? Number one would be, or in no particular order. I actually don't remember like how likely each of these things are, but there are closest Titan in front, closest Titan in sight, priority target in sight, Titan in blind spot. So if we could move her like here, then she's like nothing, basically, right? She's not in front, she's not in sight. Or I'm sorry, she's not in front, she's not the closest, she's not the furthest, she's not the priority target, she's not in the blind spot. If it's a zone attack, and it's a zone 2, she can reflex out. Alternatively, the only a reason I may not go there is because there's a decently high chance that the pursuer will go after the logic breaker, in which case we maybe want to put her in a better position where she can she's more likely to be able to attack. So like getting to somewhere like, I mean, she could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, but that puts her Titan in blind spot. There is a chance that there's a specific BP for that. I want to keep her, I don't want her to be in front. So we could go 1, 2, 3, 4. We could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She could move. She could get +2 movement. So she could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then if Solon has to reflex out of the way because the pursuer is going up to the logic breaker, he has pursuer imperative, so we could have him reflex go boom, boom with that advanced reflex. I like that. Otherwise, we could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If we do that, then we're going to have to use reflex for both Ulyssia and Solon if the pursuer goes after logic breaker. So that would be two things to use, 2 reflex charges or equipment or whatever to use instead of just a single reflex 2 by Solon. So I am going to do, we're exhaust Minoan heritage. So we use our movement and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then we use our combat to unexhaust stuff. She is done. Okay. Okay. Yes, I think I'm happy with this. Hopefully there's nothing stupid I missed. All right, let's do an AI. And we cannot use, I'm reminding myself about nymphs because I'm going to forget them if I don't keep saying things about them, but we cannot use any nymphs yet because we have not lost a Titan. So I think maybe it could be like an ideal scenario could look like pursuer goes after logic breaker this round. Logic breaker survives. Hopefully doesn't have to draw an obol. But if he does, can you use second chance multiple times? No, I don't think so, because I don't think you can use the same named ability in like one defined window. Because I think it's similar to reflex. But goes after logic breaker. Logic breaker, I guess, ends up surviving both the AI and the signature. Or maybe even pursuer goes after Solon for the AI, knocks him back, and then goes after logic breaker for the signature. Maybe something, one of those, but in either case, we're just hoping that all 4 Titans survive this primordial round. Then maybe we go back to trying to get the priority target on Ulyssia, because then after that, maybe we're okay with her dying. we don't want to try to rush her to death, but like I think at that point we switch back to Ulysses taking the attacks. She becomes the most likely to die, and that allows us the opportunity to use nymphs if we need them. Okay. Well, either way, we are going to unexhaust our Argonauts here. Use these charges as are refreshed. Oh, and then I do, before we end Olympia's turn, Ulysses' turn, I want to use Arrow Barrage for 2 opening, I think. Yeah, I think I'm good with 2 opening there. Or would I want to use a break? Because at this point, everybody has at least +2 precision. So we would need a 6 or higher to hit him. It's a BP1, so it's 4 to 5 range, or 4 to 6 range, I think. Most likely is 4, but we do have two of the AT value 4 BP1s out. So I think it's like maybe 2 4s, a 5, and a 6 left, or something to that effect. So if it was a 6, that'd be pretty tough to wound with only a break, with only 1 break. I'm going to gain the break. I'm going to gain the break. Can use fate to reroll the attack dice. Okay. Now I think I'm ready to draw the AI. Let's do this. Just the one. Oh boy, our AI 3 is on top next. AI 1, what do we have? Ambrosia Touch. It was the Titan and blind spot, so I'm glad we did not park Ulysses in that blind spot. Second targeting line is closest Titan in sight in range. So that's going to be Solon. Okay. There is a window of opportunity. Do we want to use that with anybody? I'm thinking about, well, actually, let me put this in a way that everybody else can see it too. Thinking ahead to what's going to happen as part of the after attack. Most likely danger will have been dealt. So we want to account for that pushback 4. Pushback 4 would put him 1, 2, 3, 4, which he'll have to roll a die for that first move into the that ambrosia tile, and then ending his involuntary movement in there is going to cause him to gain an ambrosia for sure. So he might gain 2 ambrosia. He would definitely gain 1 at least. And he's also going to gain 1 from this attack, most likely. Okay. He does not have anything to reduce or prevent that pushback. Thinking he has advanced reflex. Would that help here at all? Be nice if I could use the reflex like in the middle of the movement. Thinking I don't see a good way of avoiding that without also making it really expensive in terms of like we could have other people reflex out of the way, like Ulysses reflexes here, then Solon advanced reflexes here. then Earthshaker reflexes here, and then all this pushback happens. I don't know. I think that's going through a little too much effort to try to avoid this Ambrosia gain. So at least in this first ability, or this first window of opportunity, we are not going to do anything. So let's do our dice roll. We're going to get 3 dice to evade. We need a 7 or higher because he has a negative precision token. All right, 7 or higher. That is 1 evade. So we're at risk of taking 4 danger. Oh, each hit deals 2 danger and 1 ambrosia. I was thinking you just get 1 ambrosia total. I think we want to reroll both of these. Yeah, let's reroll both. Might be gaining a lot of fate here with Solon, but he goes from 1 fate to 3. So we still need 7 or higher. Let's do 1 at a time. Boom. Oh man, that was all. I know it wanted to land on that 10 side. All right, that's 1 hit. 9. All right, so we got 2 evades. That's pretty good. So we are going to take 1 hit, which will be 2 danger and 1 ambrosia. So we're definitely getting 1 ambrosia. Now we have 3 armor dice to try to reduce this gain. Here is a dilemma. I don't care that much about the 2 danger, but if we avoid the danger, the benefit is we don't get pushed back. We don't have to deal with the danger gain. Or I'm sorry, the ambrosia gain of getting pushed back into that ambrosia tile. But if we negate that danger, we're gonna have to do Killjoy. I can do Pursuer Imperative. I could do Iolpile Engine. I don't want to do either of those, but like I'm okay with Killjoying 1 thing against him. I'm nervous about Killjoying 2. Like if he had to suffer Killjoy later. Okay, but that's thinking a little bit, that's probably thinking too far ahead. But the question is, do I want to really try to go for avoiding this ambrosia gain? I feel like yes, because there's a chance he goes up to 3 ambrosia here, which we would like to avoid. Let me think about this. I don't think I feel strongly enough that, like, I convince myself that gaining the kill, or like having to suffer Killjoy but not the pushback, is better. I convince myself that having to deal with the pushback, I mean, I think having to deal with the pushback is going to be worse, but the reason why it could be maybe better or the same is oh, actually, also let me think about, because we still have to do signature after this too, and I was kind of forgetting about that. Oh, and then the pushback is not the only problem. It's going to be knockdown. And if he gets knocked down, like there's not going to be any knockback happening. So like Solon, if he gets knocked down, he's not going to be able to reflex out of the way to avoid him from being the target for the signature. And we don't want him to be, I don't think we want him to take the signature right now. 4 hits, 9 or higher. Well, I don't know. Okay, if he has to suffer this pushback, he's going to go into the ambrosia pool. He is going to get knocked down there. So I'm just going to assume that's going to be 2 ambrosia tokens. Let's assume worst case scenario, he doesn't roll well for the first one, and he has to gain the second one. So he goes up to 3. He will have gained either 1 or 2 danger. So let's also assume worst case scenario, he's at 2 danger. Then he's going to be the closest Titan in front in range for the signature. And he's very likely to have to take a full hit on the signature. So he could very well be drawing a major or grave trauma. I'm sorry, a grave or obol after the signature, and that's too early for Solon. And we're already at the fate range where like he would take the he would meet the fate gate for the signature. Do I want to reinforce 1? I know gaining 1 fate isn't that high, but like for him, I don't know, do I really want to go up to 4 fate right now already? I think yes. I think if I don't do it, I'm going to be like, that was stupid to not do that. Let's gain the fate. It's a lot of fate early on for him, but it's the highest chance of him surviving, and it is more likely to put us in the plan that we originally wanted to do with who gets attacked. So we're going to do it. So we have 4 armor dice. Do 1 at a time here. Boom. Nothing avoided. Okay, we're only taking 1 danger now. We're not taking any danger. Okay. So now we will have to suffer Killjoy. How many Pursuer resources do I have, and how much does it take to recraft that Pursuer imperative? Take a look at that really quick. Cargo. I think it was like 9 grotesque beaks or something like that. No, not here. Pursuer sighting, Pursuer imperative. Yeah, 9 grotesque beaks. We'll get some from this fight. We're at 27. But the other question is, what do I think is more valuable? That advanced reflex, which is great, but I do still have a charge left of Pursuer protocol, so it's not like he would have no reflex left. And Iolipile engine offers 2 functions, can do either movement or stand up. Oh, actually, the thing I didn't think about is that it's either going to be, oh shoot, I didn't think about this. In my head, I was thinking, oh, if it's not Solon taking the signature, it's going to be Logic Breaker, but that's not true necessarily. Oh shoot. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to Killjoy Pursuer Imperative because I think the Iolipile engine is going to offer the most flexibility. So we permanently lose that until we recraft it. So you take these dice back. We'll go back to showing Solon's view. He's come out. Then well, now that is done, right? So that's going to come out, and now we're in signature. Boom. This is going to be closest Titan in front in range, so it's going to be Solon again. But maybe that's okay. I think because at least he avoided getting knocked down, he avoided getting all those extra ambrosia tokens. I think we made the right choice. But we're going to have 4 dice to evade. And let's go with this one. And 9 or higher. Go one at a time. Boom. Nope. Boom. Nope. Boom. Nope. That was a 2. Boom. Well, that's a no for all of those. So we're about to take 4 hits. I don't think I want to re-roll any of those, but I probably want to spend a fate to reinforce maybe, because I'm about to take 8 danger. If I can reduce it by 2, something is telling me I don't want to go up in fate though, but if I can reduce it by 2, imagine there's a just imagine there's a disemboweled on top of that grave trauma deck. What do you want to do in that case? I want to spend the reinforce fate. I think we answered our question there. All right, so let's go up to 5 fate. Yeah, because we're gonna be dealing with this fate gate anyway from Pincer Strike. Darn. Yeah, if we had gotten a crit evade, we would have been able to get Rocksteady, but that was not in our cards. Okay, just roll all these at once. Ooh. Oh, darn. Oh, okay. Disemboweled, here I come. And he doesn't have any second chance. Shoot. Shoot. Yeah, so we reduced it from 8 to 7. There's nothing else that I could do here. He didn't have any block or anything like that. All right. Grave trauma it is. Oh, man. All right. Well, after this, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to pause it. Maybe I'll just stop it because I'm going to have to like edit I'm going to have to edit another part of this together anyway. So yeah, maybe I'll just stop it so I can like save some battery on my laptop and all this stuff. Okay. Please just don't be disemboweled. Just don't be disemboweled. I think I can deal with other stuff. All right, let's get this over with. Come on. Yes! Oh boy, all right. Burning Heart, stand up. You may lose 2 danger and or gain. So this is gonna chain break it, right? Yes, so we're not gonna have to deal with a knockdown and a knockback 7. Woohoo! Okay. You may lose 2 danger and or gain. Okay, well we didn't even gain our danger here. We were at 7. We will go down to 5 and or gain 1 rage. Is there any reason I don't want to gain that rage? It does make him the priority target token, but we're still going to have a charge of force Kratos reaction that we can probably use, that we could use on Logic Breaker to get him up to 5 next round so we can get the priority target back to him. So no, I'm okay with getting the rage. We're going to need high rage in this fight. So we go from 2 rage to 3. You may immediately perform a bonus attack. Oh, we needed some luck in this fight. Hell yes. Okay, this goes into the back of that deck. Okay. All right, we still have to hit. We still have to hit in order to chain break. Wait, what was it? It was 2 danger, gain a rage, and then perform a bonus attack. Okay, so yeah, we're going up to 3 rage to 4. We're showing Solon, right? Yes. Going from 3 rage to 4. And ooh, okay, before I do this, let me pull out this trauma again, because it does say you may lose 2 danger. I would love to just lose 1 danger, because if I'm at 6 danger, I get that extra power from the Mazimer. Ooh, so do I choose, and difference between 5 and 7 danger? How big of a difference do I think that is? Like, he's probably unlikely. let's just imagine it's the difference between having to add the "You Died Horribly" to the Obel deck at some point versus not. I don't know. I might not lose it. I might just stay at 7 danger. I wish it said you may lose up to 2 danger, because then I would say easy. I'll just go to 6, call it a win. But if he gets attacked again, I don't know. He has so many armor dice that like it is feasible that he could survive another attack. If he gets attacked again, he's drawing an Obel. Yeah. All right. So if we take that in mind, I want that extra power because it's going to make him more likely to wound. So I am going to go back to 7 danger. I'm not going to have lost the 2 danger there. So we're at 7. Trying to think if there's anything else that could screw me with that. Ooh, where it could make a difference is the crit miss effect of the Mazimer, because that causes him to gain 2 danger. So if I crit miss here, I could be at 9 danger, and then if I crit miss again, that's an Obel draw without even being attacked. Okay, nope, I changed my mind. I am going to lose that 2 danger. Yep, okay. So we already increased our rage to 4 for this attack. We need 6 or higher. Okay. 6 or higher, baby. 2. Oh gosh, come on. Fate reroll, 6 or higher. Come on, please. Let's go. 9. Oh my gosh, thank you. Sometimes these like 1 die to hit weapons are just so stressful because it's just getting a full miss is a bummer. All right, so we do chain break this, which is excellent. Move this out, draw our BP1. And okay, so it's an instinct response of knockdown, knockback 7. Okay, so basically we're gonna have to be resolving that. Yeah, he can ignore wound responses, but not other responses. Okay. Okay, we can reduce knockbacks by up to 2. Okay. Yep. Okay. Thinking about this. All right, well, we got to wound first. First things first. Let's do these 2. Then these 2. And that's it. We don't have our bonus power. So we need 4 or higher. Ooh, easy. That is 2, 4, 6. We did have 2 power rerolls, but we did not use them. So we do have a pushback for the second ability window if we want it. Okay, so let's move these out. Move these out. We're going to suffer knockdown and then knockback 7. Oh, we could do that thing again where we have Ulyssia gain the knockdown. Ooh, I might do that. Let's do it. Why not? I haven't really been using this much at all, but if we use it twice in this fight, that's incredible. So Ulyssia is going to gain the knockdown. Boom. And then, not Herodotus, Solon is still going to suffer knockback 7, but we can reduce it by 2 because of Hecaton Panoply armor. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to displace him there. Okay. Then we still have to deal with the, I gotta set this on this side. Still have to deal with the escalation. We're at 4 wounds now. Okay, so that bonus attack put us back on track with like 4 wounds in the first round kind of deal. So we're gonna get a BP2 in here. This is exciting, man. Fight's taking a while though. That's okay. I stop in 3, 2, 1. BP1. Okay, we have, we just wounded an AI1, or BP1, so we're going to take out AI1. So we take this out, put it over there. Yeah. Get an AI2. We kind of need somebody to die though, so we can, don't say that. But we do really want to be able to use those nymphs. 3, 2, 1. Okay. No bueno. Escalated. Second ability window. We're just going to get 2 tokens in there, right? Yes. So let's just keep 2 break. All right. Oh, sorry. There's our second ability window. Is there anything else? Oh yeah, did we want to do a pushback one? No. Because then I would just end up in the ambrosia. Okay. I'm gonna take a break for a bit. So yeah, I will stop this video because I already had to stop it before, so I'll have to edit these couple of videos together so it might look... the couple of times that I had to edit the videos and like put in the like those little oops screens, it's like it gives the wavy, not even wavy, it's like it looks like it glitched or something. I have to figure out why it does that. But yeah, okay. So I'll whatever. If we have to deal with that, we will. But I'm gonna take a break. I don't know if it's gonna be like a 20-minute break or like an hour. I might actually go. Ooh, I have to do some errands. Okay. Anyway, well, you don't care. I will figure that out. But for you, I'll be back in like 3 seconds. For my time, it might be 20 minutes. It could be like 3 hours. So see you in a bit. Okay, I am back. It's been about 3 hours for me in real time, so sorry if the camera angle is a little bit different. I had to take my phone with me, so. All right, let me try to remember where we're at here. So we just finished a primordial round. We did the AI, we did the signature. We took the signature with Solon. We got the bonus attack from the grave trauma. Right, and we had 7 danger, we went down to 5, we got knocked back, we had Ulyssia take the knockdown, okay, and we were talking about trying to get Ulyssia to have the priority target token, because if we're going to have somebody die soon to be able to use the nymphs, we probably want it to be her. Okay, so now I think that's where we're at. I don't think we had decided who we wanted to go with first. It is a BP1 up top. So I don't want to use Earthshaker or Solon yet because they are my 2 heaviest hitters. I probably just want to use Ulyssia, right? Because I can stand up with her, I can attack from where I'm at, and I'm not adjacent, so potentially I'm also avoiding knockdown and knockback. What are the arguments against attacking first with her? I She doesn't have the strongest weapon, so like if anybody is likely to like, she's probably the least likely out of everybody to wound. But I don't see negatives, but maybe I'm missing something. Okay, so I'm tentatively going to go first with her. Oh god, what button did I just hit? Okay. Ooh, I accidentally brought up settings. The window shifted focus from OBS and I got really concerned. Oh yeah, the camera angle's not perfect there, but it's good enough. I'm not going to mess with it anymore. Okay, so I think we want to go with her. Thinking through this. Yeah, okay. This makes sense. So I guess the downside of doing this, if I'm trying to get her the PT, priority target, I would need to use that last charge of forced Kratos reaction. So a downside of that is that I can't give it to Earthshaker, who would really benefit from being able to jump from 2 to 4 rage at some point. But that's not, I don't think that's worth changing this plan. I guess the other downside is that if we go first with her, we don't have flexibility with her later to like put her in a better position to intentionally take an attack. We're really just getting her the priority target token. Oh, and actually, hold on, let me zoom out because I did not move the actually, this is not going to work. Hold on. Because the PT is with Anacreon, who is at 4 rage. Ulyssia can only tie that with using that charge of forced Kratos reaction. If we want somebody to beat it and take that target away from Anacreon / Solon, we would need Logic Breaker to jump up to 5 rage. Okay, so then maybe the move is still to go first with Ulyssia, but we don't use forced Kratos reaction on her. Because it's not gonna, it'd be nice to have an extra power reroll, but I don't think it's worth using. I don't think it's worth it just for that. Okay. Yeah, I think this makes sense. Just gonna keep trying to convince myself that there's no better move here. I maybe consider using Arrow Barrage here, but no, that's okay. Ooh, okay. All right. Yeah, so we're going first with her. Let's stand up. Go to 4 Fate. Stand up. Wait, nope, that does, I don't know what I'm doing with that. Just get rid of knockdown here. Yeah, and then we just attack from here, and then we see what happens, and we decide if we want to use movement to actually move, or if we wanted to use it to get things back. Okay. All right, let's stop talking about it and let's just do it. Let's attack, baby. Come on. All right, we got to pick up from where our good luck left off. We need just 2 dice to hit here. Boom, boom. We have +2 precision, so we need 6 or higher. Boom. 6 and 7. I will take that. Thank you very much. Nothing for first ability window. Yeah, she could not have used rush. There was nothing that we could have done from an auto break perspective. If this is a 6 AT, I can still wound it. It'll be tough, but I can do it. All right, I think we'll just draw our BP card. 4. All right. Ooh, the wound response is perform signature against the attacker. Shoot. Well, this is kind of, I mean, this is kind of still getting what we want, I guess, in like a weird way. Because if this kills her, then we can start using nymphs. Like we're probably gonna want to try to use the Solitude Nymph going into the next AI round, the next primordial round is my thinking. So this is okay. Actually, does it? One Titan has died or drawn an obol or drawn an obol. Okay, so they don't even have to die. They just need to draw an obol, and boy, Ulyssia is probably going to be drawing an obol from this. Okay, I'm all right with this. I'm all right with this. We're going to get 3 from Maze Rake and 1 from her Titan. Let's see, and we just have the 1 power reroll, correct? Yes. She has pull and reposition 1. Okay. All right, we just need 4. We're gonna do this one at a time. Boom. Nice. Halfway there. Oh gosh. Amazing. Let's go. Icing on the cake. Okay, well, I don't really know how I should count that. I mean, if I was in a situation where that was important, I would probably still just count it as 1 because I stopped rolling it when it was at 1. So that's 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perform signature against the attacker. All right, so let's queue up our signature here. Body part is going to go in our wound stack. Switch views. Now 5 wounds. It's pretty good. That's pretty good. Add in, okay, yeah, I was like, shoot, should that have been a BP3? No, BP2. Stopping in 3, 2, 1. Oh boy. Oh gosh, nervous. Oh, BP3 already. This is where primordial lore would have come in handy. We have good weapons though. We actually can probably wound BP3s. What's the highest? The highest AT I think is an 11 or a 12. I don't think we can. We'd have to get really lucky to get a 12. Okay, well, I'm getting way ahead of myself. We still need to escalate the AI deck, take out an AI1, put in an AI2. 3, 2, 1. AI2 on top. Okay. Comes out, we'll get 2 opening from Maze Rake. Gosh, I feel so dehydrated right now. I've been drinking so much water. At least my throat is dry. And then I'll take 2 break from the Kratos table. Do I want to reposition? We know he's going to signature. Oh, reposition could probably benefit us somehow here. Let's think about this, because right now the pursuer is at the range limit of both Logic Breaker and Solon. I need to get some water. So if we're going to reposition, we probably want to reposition 1 backwards. But if we do that, I mean, let's just imagine this out. If we do that, then afterwards, pursuer would go boom, boom. Boom. Yeah, he would go here regardless. Do we like that position better than this or this? 3, 4, 5. Measuring the distance. So logic breaker could now get here without having to go through a ambrosia tile. If he was here, we could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Solon could go 1, 2, 3, 4. I think Solon's going to have to go through the ambrosia tile unless he uses his Eolipile engine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So maybe I like this more. We have a pull as well, but I think because we know that he's going to be doing his signature, I don't think the pull really helps us. Okay. Yeah, I think let's do this. And we are done with our second ability window. And shoot. Yeah, okay. We could let's see. The primordial will be within range of Pierce Clipios too, if we want to use that. Would I want to try to go for this BP3 with Earthshaker and Pierce Clipios or Mazimer? Oh, I mean, with Mazimer and Solon, we do get an extra black die if we need it. So the answer is probably him. Okay, well let's just wait and find out what we need to do. But yeah, I think we're at the end of our second ability window. We still have our movement left. I've forgotten about this a few times in the past. Maybe we'll put that up on the side there just so we don't forget. Have I been on Solon this whole time? Sorry about that. Okay. So signature against the attacker. We're going to do move and attack. Boom, boom. Just checking for anything else that I could have done before I move forward with this. Oh, I could reflex back with... I could reflex backwards with Ulyssia too to bring her even closer to Solon and Logic Breaker, but I don't think I want to do that. I think that's a waste. Okay. So we're gonna get 4 dice here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we need 9 or higher because he has negative precision. Do this one at a time. Ooh, baby. That's a 10. That's a 9. Oh, ooh, all right, all right. Come on, 7. All right. 2. Okay. No free rerolls. I'm not going to use Fate to reroll them either because I will take those 2 evasions and be happy with it. So we are now about to take 2 danger per hit, so 4 danger. And we have reinforce 1. Do we want to spend a fate? We probably want to spend a fate for the reinforce 1 because if we can reduce this, I mean, if we can reduce it to just draw another grave trauma, yeah, there's a chance of... Oh, actually, I think the worst case scenario is drawing disemboweled. Because at least with... If we... No, because if we draw disemboweled, we still have a Titan that died. Sorry, I was thinking like, oh, if we draw disemboweled, then we still can't use the nymphs. But that's not true. It's died or drawn an obol, not died from an obol draw. Okay. So at least we're not at risk of adding You Died Horribly into the deck here. I'm still debating, is it, maybe I save the, what am I saving the Fate for? Let's see, how many, I wish I remembered how many cards were in the Grave Trauma deck, because we've drawn 2, neither of which have been disemboweled. Okay, let's just take a guess at this. I think there's 12 cards in the Grave Trauma deck, and I think there's 3 disemboweled. So even if that's the case, then we know that 2 of those cards that are not disemboweled are at the back. So like there's basically a 30% chance out of the remaining cards that the top one is a disemboweled. But that's still better than 50% chance of drawing You Died from the Obel deck. So yes, I think let's gain a Fate. I don't know if people are watching this are like, okay, why the hell wouldn't you gain a Fate here? Like, just gain the Fate and get the extra armor die. Sometimes I feel like, especially in the last few recorded fights that I've done, my Fate has gotten so high. But even in this case, like in this fight, I'm willing to draw Moira's cards. We can suffer the negative consequences of Moira's cards if we need to. So let's not get too frugal with our Fate. So you're right. If you're asking that in this video and you're saying, why the hell don't you just gain that Fate to do the reinforced one? I agree with you. I'm just overthinking everything right now because I really want to do this on this attempt. I don't want to have to like do this again without we'd probably be doing it without a logic breaker. All right. So we have our 4, let's grab these 4. 4 power, or, gosh, I'm sorry, I can't talk. So it's probably just filled with me correcting myself all the time. We have 4 armor dice. Oh. Unexpected, but welcome. We reduced that down to 0. Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't consider that this was going to happen, so I'm trying to process what we should do here. I mean, probably Killjoy the Spring Harness. Because if we do that, then we can still, like, we need to reflex to avoid this knockdown. Yeah, okay. I don't think there's much of a decision here. I think this is a pretty easy choice. We're gonna Killjoy Spring Harness. Then we will, there's no ambrosia from this, so that's it. Okay, then we go to the, yeah, even if we reduce the danger to 0, we still progress to the next step in the line, right? Because we still took, I'm just gonna double check this to see if there's a chance that I can skip this knockdown, knockback without having to reflex. Okay, no, I didn't see anything about this basically being the equivalent of a full evade, because it's not. We took hits and we're using an armor roll to do this, and this follows with how I remembered it too. So we still have to reflex here. Ooh. Reflex backwards 1. Ooh, actually, wait a second. Do we want to reflex into the ambrosia pool? Yeah, because she's going to be using her movement to, get a familiar curse and Iapetus Lifeguard back. And if she stays there, is she going to be in the way of, I mean, Solon could cut through the ambrosia pool that he's in front of, but I feel like I maybe should be prioritizing getting this, like, let Ulyssia take the guaranteed ambrosia as opposed to having Solon risk taking ambrosia. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Any Titan has at least 4 ambrosia tokens. It's not 4 collective. It's 4 on a single Titan. But if I like to avoid the chance of Solon even going through that pool, I mean, he would have to use his Eolipile engine, and I actually probably don't even want to do that. So maybe I still just reflex there and then take Solon, go through the ambrosia pool, and just roll the die. He'll get to ignore wound responses. It's going to suck if there's like an instinct response for gaining ambrosia. Which, I don't remember. I feel like there's at least some kind of response that's like gain 3 ambrosia. I don't know if there's one that's as bad as gain 4. I mean, I'm at this point, I'm just kind of speculating. I'm guessing. Oh, Solon also has another Titan may move 1 space. So he could have Logic Breaker move over to the side. Then how many spaces would Logic Breaker be away? 2, 3, 4, 5. He'd be 5 away. All right. I'm just gonna commit to a decision here. We're gonna stay there with Ulyssia. We are done the signature. It's still Ulyssia's turn. So we will use her movement to get these things back. Now she is done. Now I could go next with Earthshaker, but I have a significantly higher chance of wounding with Solon. With Solon, I can do Rush. I mean, it's going to cost me a Fate. It's going to bring him to 7, but I can get an extra break token in the pool. Let's see, I have 2 opening tokens in there, so I'd be at +4, so I'd need a 4 or higher. I could use Arrow Barrage if I want it for a break, or I may actually use it for a break. That could put me at 4 break tokens. Then for my power dice, I'd be loaded. I'd have 2 black, 2 red, an extra red from the Kratos pool, potentially an extra black from Death Follows if we need it. That is like using up everything on 1 BP, but like I feel like if I'm able to wound this BP3, just even and with him we're going to be ignoring the wound response. We can't ignore the fail response, and the fail response of a BP3 is going to be probably pretty bad. So let's go all in on getting this BP3 hammered. Hell yeah. All right, I'm sold. Let's do it. Let's freaking do it. Okay. We're activating him. We are, I mean, do we want to get, we don't need to give him Force Kratos reaction. That's not enough of a benefit. So we are just gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're gonna have to roll a D10, and it's on a 6 or higher, we gain the ambrosia. It's just weird, but I'm gonna play by the rules. Nice, a 1. I'm so happy to get a 1. Woo, cool. No ambrosia for me. Okay, now we're gonna attack, right? No, what did I want to do? I'm missing things that I wanted to do. Oh, I'm sorry. I wanted to rush, not just, oh, and if I rush, actually, I have to put him here. Okay, so hold on. I'm still counting that D10 that I rolled as my ambrosia roll. I'm putting him back here for now, but I did already roll for my ambrosia check. But what I'm doing is I need to map out, if I use rush with Solon, he has to go here because he has to take the shortest path. How can we still set logic breaker up for success? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That would put Ulysses in the way. Otherwise we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We could give him, we're kind of choosing between giving logic breaker and ambrosia or giving Ulysses and ambrosia. Okay, here I'm gonna retcon. I'm gonna say that she reflexed here, and she's gonna have to gain an ambrosia. Ooh, I hope I don't regret doing that, but I feel like it makes the most sense because now on Solon's turn, when he, at the start of his turn before he does rush, he can do a dream you hold to have another Titan may move 1 space. We're gonna have logic breaker move south 1 space because then he can get over here in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And now we rush, now we spend that fate. And I already did my ambrosia roll. I'm not doing it again. I did the one, I'm not risking it. And we attack. We're going from 4 rage to 5. Did we want to use arrow barrage? Yes, we're gonna go all in on this. I'm gonna use it for a break token. Boom. And then we need, with the Mazimer, we have +2 plus the 2 opening tokens. So we have +4 to hit. We need a 4 or higher to hit. All right. Come on, baby. Oh, that was almost a crit. That was almost a crit. It rocked. It wanted to go. If I had just thrown it with a little more force, it would have been a crit. Oh, that's okay. Oh, okay. Let's see. We have Nerve Flight Center, or Flight Nerve Center. Oh my gosh, my heart is pounding right now. We have an AT of 8. Oh, and we have an auto break that we get. So maybe we don't even use, maybe we actually don't use Death Follows. But we're gonna have 3 reds and 2 black. And we have 4 break tokens in there, and we have 2 power reroll. Let's, maybe dumb, I'm gonna save Death Follows. I think we can get 8 without using Death Follows. Ooh, okay, that's probably gonna be a reroll. Not bad. 3 total. 4, 5, 6. 7, 8. 9. So we don't need to reroll anything, right? We have 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We only have 3 potential symbols. That's okay, that's enough. We got a wound, we ignore wound responses. No flare card for me, buddy. Get that crap out of here. That's gonna be a double wound into our wound pile. We're now at 7 wounds. This is looking pretty good. knock on wood. 3 reds come out. Oh, okay, yeah, sorry. I gotta escalate. So we're gonna remove the lowest BP. That's gonna be a BP1. Get a BP3 in here. How many? Okay, so this is only the second BP3 that's in here. Stop in 3, 2, 1. BP2. Oh, whoops, and then nerve center goes back in there on the bottom. Okay. Then we remove the lowest AI card. That should be a 1. It's going to be in our discard. Yeah. 1 comes out. 3 goes in. Shuffle them up. 3, 2, 1, 2. Gosh, these are just everywhere right now. Okay. Now we clear the Kratos pool. What do we want here? Why do I feel like I'm missing something that I was supposed to do? I don't think I'm missing anything. Okay. We are going to get just 2 tokens. The BP2, we need the 2 break. Okay. He has no reposition. He has nothing left in the second ability window. We're going to end his turn. Solon's done. Oh, shoot. I just remembered something with Logic Breaker. I think it's too late to try to roll this back. I don't think any information was revealed that impacts its decision. Well, maybe responses kind of deal, but Logic Breaker in his Kratos pool at 4 rage, he does have an ability called Elation, which would allow him to discard an Ambrosia token and use it to basically put an extra opening token in the Kratos pool. But unfortunately, I think it's too late to do that. Oh well. You live and you learn. We have enough things going our way in this fight that I think that's too much to try to roll that back. And I think we're going to want to go next with Logic Breaker. Because he has, let's see, full power Logic Breaker is going to have 5 reds. Full power Earthshaker is going to have 2 black, 2 red, and a power. That's definitely more powerful than 5 reds. So let's go first with Logic Breaker. If Logic Breaker wounds, what's best case scenario? What kind of Kratos pool could we be looking at? See, I don't think we really need to depend on, we don't need to rely on opening tokens actually. We don't care about those as much for the Earthshaker because he has the +1 for Pierce Clipios. He has +3 precision from his precision tokens. If he needs to, he can get into the blind spot of the Pursuer as well and get another +1 from being in the blind spot, +1 from a Broken Promise. That's what, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's +6. He would need a 2 higher. The only thing that he could miss on would be a crit miss. So he doesn't need any opening tokens. He needs break tokens. So best case scenario is that Logic Breaker could put in 3 breaks because he has over break. Whatever. I think even ITU recognized that the overbreak was kind of like a weird underpowered mechanic, and that's why I won't say any spoilers because I feel like if I say any more it actually is spoilers, but Yeah, best case scenario is that we could get 3 break in there from him, and I don't think we have any other sources of break that we could possibly get in there. But if we needed to, then we could also, oh yeah, right. Did we want to use oh, well, at this point we can't. Actually, Solon is going to be stuck with the priority target. Ooh. Ooh, that is tough. There's a fair chance he dies without having used Death Follows. Ah. Okay. Well, we still wounded the BP3. So I'm not that regretful of it, but that would have really sucked if like he didn't win the BP3, then he dies, and then we didn't even use Death Follows. I would have been so upset about that. If I had thought about that before, I probably would have used Death Follows. So good thing I didn't think about that. Okay, let's go next with Logic Breaker. And we can just go into the Ambrosia pool and just get, we don't need the opening token for Earthshaker, but it would be nice not to have everybody in front of the Pursuer. So let's do this. Let's have him move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He will roll. He's yellow. Okay, yes, 6 or higher, and we get the Ambrosia. It doesn't really matter either way, honestly, but we don't get the Ambrosia. And then we'll attack, right? We could use, I don't think we need to use Forced Kratos reaction here to get him an extra red die. Maybe I'll regret saying that, but let's just attack with him. I think we'd prefer to give it to Earthshaker so that he can get an extra power reroll depending on what level BP he has. Because if Earthshaker has to try to wound a BP3, I do really want him to have that extra power reroll. So we go to Rage 4 with Logic Breaker. And we have, what, +3 to hit, so we need a 5 or higher. There's no other bonuses here, right? No. Does he need to use any of his other, like, free actions? No. No, okay. So 5 or higher hits. 9, all right. Oh my gosh. I'm doing good. 6, also doing good on the draws here for AT values. And it's the wound response is a flare card. Haha, Vulture Mask actually paid off if we wound. Because we get to ignore flare primordial responses. So the way I interpret that is we just don't read it. It's not that like Logic Breaker just doesn't suffer the effects from it. It's just the entire flare card response is ignored, similar to like ignoring attack responses for like a bonus attack. And if anybody from Into the Unknown is watching this and disagrees with that, well, don't let me know. Just keep it a secret. Let me be happy. All right, so we got an auto break from Logic Breaker's auto break 1. Very nice. We're gonna get 4 reds from Theseus's Razor and a 5th red. We are gonna have power reroll 3. And of course we're gonna roll this one at a time because my heart is racing right now. Because this is, knock on wood, this is going pretty dang well. All right. So we need 6 and we have 3 power rerolls. Okay, well, power reroll is going to come in handy. 1, it's better than 0. Okay. Okay. Come on, give me like a 2. Okay. So that's 2, 4, 5. Oh, wait. That's enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow. Okay. I just looked at that and I was like, individually, these feel like not great rolls, but that's enough. That was re-rolled for no reason. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 3 potentials. Okay, I'm just making sure I'm not going crazy here. Okay, this is gonna wound. Sorry, I just get excited when I'm like about to, like this was my goal for this. Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. But this is looking pretty good. So we had the wound effect is immediately draw and resolve a flare card. Our Vulture Mask ignores that, so we don't have anything we need to resolve for the wound. We go up to 8 wounds. We will shuffle a BP3 into our BP deck. So there's a fifth, well, actually we know one of the BP3s is not the Cryptex card, so there's a 40% chance we have that Cryptex card in here, but at this point it doesn't really matter because we are at, actually, I think it has you mark something on your choice matrix, so it would still be fun to get it. Anyway, stop shuffling in 3, 2, 1. BP3 could still be the same BP3 that we wounded before. Then we take out an AI2, put in an AI3. But yeah, that Cryptex card, if you remember, we have an auto crit chance on that from, I think it was Inwards Odyssey 20. We'll stop shuffling in 3, 2, 1. AI2. Okay, so if we fail to wound this, at least we only have an AI2 to deal with. And if we succeed, we win. So I am all for trying to go for it this time. Oh, shoot. I'm going to have to stop the... No. Oh, okay. Hold on. Ooh. I did have a reason to do power rerolls. And it's because I need to try to get Overbreak in order to get break tokens in here. All right, I'm gonna have like multiple edit points in this because I think it was, I got 2 of these, one of these, and an empty, right? So I had just enough. So I would not, as is, I would get no tokens in there. I could re-roll all 3 of these and I would need, I would need to get at least 1 power and 1 break. What happens if I fail? I already escalated. Okay, well, I'm gonna re-roll both of these. If I don't know what I'm gonna do if I don't get at least 1 power because I don't know. Okay, 1. Wasn't meant to be. So we still just come out with exactly what we need. 2, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we're not gonna get any tokens in there. Oof. Ooh, that does hurt. That does hurt. This is why, well, oh, we could get an opening token, actually. Technically, we can get an opening token. I really don't like Overbreak. It's so, yeah, whatever. Shoot. All right, so, well, actually, maybe I don't want that opening token, I don't think. Because if Earthshaker goes, at least he can get an opening and a break from Cold Open. So for him, an empty Kratos pool is better than having something in there. Okay. I think that's everything that we could do for Logic Breaker, right? There's no other second ability windows that we had. Oh man, I'm really bummed. Oh, we had Carving 1. So technically we could do a wisdom check. Okay, what is it? 6 or higher. He has +2 to wisdom. So 4 or higher, and we get a grotesque beak. Okay. Yay. The carving trait just kind of feels... I'm really curious if anybody has found it super helpful. Because honestly, to me, I just end up ignoring it most of the time. So if anybody found it useful, please let me know how I'm using it incorrectly. Yeah, and I think that's going to end it for Logic Breaker. Okay, so let's take stock of where we're at real quick, but I need some water. All right, we have a BP3 on top. We have an AI2 on top. If we wound that BP, we win the fight. If we don't wound the BP, we still have an AI2 on top, so we're not really at risk of getting an AI3. However, we don't know what the fail response could be of the BP. And I think it is a fairly low chance that I'm able to wound, because Earthshaker would have, I mean, being able to hit, not a problem. Being able to wound could be tough. He would have, let's just do this for the sake of me being able to visualize. He would have 2 black, a red. That would be from a full hit on Perisclipios. He would have a red from his Titan die. And then he would have +1 power from Perisclipios. All right, actually, give me 1 second. I'm going to pull this up on my little calculator. All right, let's bring Perisclipios over into view here as well. You actually see that? Not particularly well. Actually, he might have a better view if we put it like here. Not really there either. Whatever. All right. So Perisclipios, let's just run through this really quickly and just make sure I loaded this in right. So our 2-hit value for our primordial is 8. We can play with the AT values, but the lowest we could possibly get, I think, is an 8. Kratos pool is going to be 1 opening, 1 break, because we'll have cold open from the Earthshaker. Then we have 2 attack dice. So we have 2 maximum hits. Nothing's going to automatically hit. We have precision bonus of 4. Because we have +1 from Perisclipios. We have +3 from our precision tokens. We'll give ourselves 2 attack rerolls because we're saying we will spend the 2 fate if we need to reroll both dice. We have 1 power bonus from the Perisclipios, and we will have 2 power rerolls from Earthshaker's Kratos table. We get 1 black die per hit, and then we have 1 extra red die from Perisclipios and 1 extra red die from the Titan. So with this, our chance to wound at an 8 is a 46% chance. Which is pretty low for the lower end of the BP3 spectrum, because I think those BP3s, so in the graph down here you can see it does give some values for like the other, not just the AT that you're targeting, but the reason why it's important to play around with the AT value here is that it does come into consideration with the power reroll logic. So like even if we go up to a 9 AT, we are pretty unlikely to wound. I mean, where does this leave us though? Like, what do we think is going to be the worst effect of not wounding this? And if we don't wound, like how has this become beneficial? Because I think we're gonna have to get an attack off anyway with somebody. So maybe this attack, we just say, all right, we have a very low chance of wounding this, but really we're just considering this setup for our next attacking Titan. In which case, Earthshaker would be able to leave. What would his Kratos pool look like afterwards? It'd be 1 break, 3 opening. We really need break more than opening, but it's still better than an empty pool. Yeah, I don't know what the worst we could see from a primordial response is going to be, but I don't see enough reason to not try to attack, even if we think we're very unlikely to wound here. I don't think he has any like fail responses that are escalate, because if he did have those, then I would reconsider my decision here, but I'll try for it. To activate him, we will use forced Kratos reaction to go from 1 to 2 rage. We won't use our movement yet because we'll wait until after the attack to see if we want to use it to get Iapetus Lifeguard back. Also, if we get knocked down somehow during this response, if we don't use our movement yet, then we can still use Eolipile Engine to stand up, because we'd still have that free window, that window for doing free actions. So yeah, I think there's a few reasons to save the movement for after the attack. Okay, so now we will do our attack, go from 2 rage to 3. And we are showing our correct window there, yes, yes, okay. And we need 2 dice. We have +4 to hit. So we need 4 or higher. I mean, do I want to just... Oh, no, right. And I get cold open. I was like, I thought I was going to get a little bit better precision. So I'm going to need 3 or higher to hit. That's an 8 and a 3. That opening token came in handy. Ooh. There was nothing that we could have done to get a token in the first ability window, right? No auto anything. Nope. All right. We have the same BP3. So, at least by my calculator, we have a 50% chance to wound this. Let's go. That's better than I was expecting. Okay, it's gonna leave us with 2 red, 2 black. And we'll have 2 power reroll. It all comes down to this. And we have +1 power, so we effectively need 7 on the dice. We need 6 power symbols. That is tough. All right, let's do a red. That's not gonna do it for us, champ. Let's do the other red. 2 power symbols. Heck yeah. All right, I just have to tell the dice what to do. They just need guidance. That's what it is. All right, 2 power, 1 break. That landed cleanly, so I'll keep it. Come on, 2 power symbols. Ooh, okay. So what, we're at 2, 4, 5. Oh, okay. So now what improves my chances? Do I reroll both of these? What, a black die has 50% of sides have 2 power symbols, right? Yes. So, and a red power die, I'm gonna reroll both of them. I'm not gonna think about it too much. All right, here we go. Let's go! Heck yeah, that's a great roll. Oh my gosh, this is redemption for my power rolls. These last like 6 battles. Ah, yes, that's 2, 4, 6, 7. Oh, wait, did I just barely wound it? 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. I was like, wait, did I miscount? So I think I did still miscount how many. 2, 4, 6, 7. We got one more power symbol than we needed. Oh, we did it. We didn't even have to crit on, what's it called? The Black Blood Cryptex. We didn't lose any Titans. We didn't draw an Obel. Oh my gosh, that was amazing. Wow. This is I love these battles like this, because it's like, this is a battle where it's just like, I spent a lot of time thinking about all the turns, trying to plan out everything that was going to happen in the future. Yes, we needed some luck, but we, like, I think if this fight had to drag on for a little bit longer, we're still in good shape right now. If that's 3 o'clock my time. I need to get some stuff cleaned up because I have people coming over for game night tonight. So I need to at least clear enough things off this table that I can put the table toppers on. So otherwise I would consider like trying to go a little bit further and just see like how many wounds could we get until he ends up killing us. But wow, I don't think I could have asked for this fight to go any better. I am gonna have to rewatch this back and just kind of see if I messed anything up, but like, that was awesome. That was awesome. Even the bad things ended up working out in our favor. I don't know. This was really good. We had how many? We had one bonus attack, right? We had just the bonus attack from Solon. We did get Maze touched, but I don't know. I don't think that'll be too annoying to deal with. Maybe it could hurt us in the Temenos fight later, but oh, I don't know, man. I'm just super happy. Wait, what? Okay, I have to get into the story for this, because I'm probably not going to do. Maybe the next video I'll do is going to be right before I'm about to do the final, like the conclusion of the story. So maybe that would be kind of like story plus battle. But I'm not going to do I don't think I'm going to do a video immediately following this. I'll do some of the adventure and voyaging on my own, but I will read the story here, excuse me. All right. The Hermesian pursuer falls to its knees. It raises its abnormally small head toward you, devoid of fear or humanity, alien to the end. You strike it down with a single powerful blow, but you do not stop. The others join in. This time, no last-minute escapes, no resurrections, no traps, no reprieve. You will quarter the beast if that's what it takes for it to never rise again. The savaged body releases its ambrosia load. Perhaps as part of its death throes, and among the bubbling black fluid, you notice a strange stone organ. The Black Blood Cryptex. You have seen it before, but not up close. Cross out the Hermesian pursuer's name and all marks from the adversary battle track. You can no longer initiate the pursuit's end battle. Story concludes, see 0299. Woo! It's exciting. All right, 0299. You recover the Black Blood Cryptex from the Ambrosia Pool and wash it in a nearby stream. It is neither black nor stone. Its outer layers are made of various strange metals and translucent panes, connected seamlessly and inscribed with some kind of code. The Cryptex would remain an unsolvable enigma, be it not damaged. And so, through the crack in its hardened alloy, you glimpse inside the truth of your enemy. Inside, in a green, viscous liquid, not unlike that of the Balnonian, the corpse of a man floats lifelessly. His death was recent, undoubtedly brought on by the damage sustained by the Cryptex. All this time you thought it was a monster chasing you, when in fact your enemy was a mortal all along, donning a primordial just like you don titans. You scour the so-called pursuer's lair and find a cell block where your crew members were held and a torture chamber where they died. You also find a strange iron sarcophagus inside of which a titan slumbers. Its Antikratos helm seems compatible with the cryptex. You return to the Argo with more questions than answers and the sinking feeling that you've walked into something you do not comprehend. Instructions. Mark P8. Don't mind if I do. Let's go to scribe, Argo, choice matrix. Let's see if I need to restart this because sometimes it gets funky. Oh, shoot. All right, give me a second. I'm going to restart this and I don't want to share parts. Oh, I'm not even sharing that screen. Okay, I'll just, actually I do need to stop sharing it. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm going to pause and come back on. Never mind, because in order for me to restart this, I'm going to have to stop the recording in OBS and then start a new one, and I don't feel like doing that. So I will, maybe, let me make a note to myself to mark P8 afterwards. I'll just, nope, I'm going to make a note, otherwise I will forget. Let's do it on a sticky tab here. Mark P8. And I'm just going to stick that. I will probably not be cleaning this fight up before board game night, so I'll just leave it there. Ship of Secrets. Gain 1 Argo knowledge. We do not have any more Argo knowledge to gain in this cycle. Game Changer. Gain the Cycle 2 Bronze Lair technology card and 1 Game Changer Titan. Woo! I love the Game Changer. Incredible Titan. Also, I never showed off the Earthshaker and Logic Breaker minis, I just realized, but whatever. We are focused on the Game Changer now, who actually has probably simultaneously one of my favorite parts of paint, like one of my favorite paint jobs of my Titans, and also one of the worst. I'm gonna grab that because I think it's kind of funny. And we'll talk about the Game Changer a little bit and why he's so amazing. You'll probably see it pretty quickly after looking at his Titan sheet. Please hold while I find him. There he is. All right. I'll show the artwork first so you can see what he's supposed to look like. And let's cut to this view. I mean, how sick is that? That's so awesome. And if you can see it right there, he does not have a red power die. He has a black power die. So just phenomenal Titan, really strong. Let's go over some of his traits. He has advanced reflex as part of his Titan sheet. So you can just inherently have advanced reflex with him. Amazing. It does still exhaust, but you can unexhaust it just like you would anything else. Unknown Might. He has, so he can also use 3-handed weapons. So he could use that Pyrisclipios if he so desired, as if they were 2-handed weapons. And if you do, you have 1 less support slot. So little downside to using it for him, but something to consider. However, here is the catch-22 with using him. Each time you roll a crit miss, activate the adversary. So if the adversary is not on the map, like on your voyage map, and you are using the Game Changer in a battle, can you even read it there? A little bit. Then you are going to just put the adversary on the map. So you have to be cautious about when you use them. But it's good. I like having these Titans where you have a strong Titan, but there's a good reason not to use them. Like there has to be a cost for it because it makes you think about which Titans you want to use going into a fight, as opposed to just saying like, I'm always going to use this one because he's just literally the best. Let's see here. Ruse. After surviving a major or grave trauma or an obol, place 1 opening token in the Kratos pool. So that's just a nice to have. His trauma deck is pretty interesting because it's 1 to 4 is minor, 5 to 8 is major, 9 is grave, and then 10 or higher is obol. So he only gets to grave at 9. So your chances of drawing disemboweled with him are very, very low. You're sticking mostly in the minors and majors there. And then his Kratos table, I mean, we're not going to go through everything there, but notably he gets a break and an opening at Rage 1, and at Rage 2 he gets that symbols to Elation that I talked about earlier in the fight that Logic Breaker also has, but he gets it at, Logic Breaker gets it at Rage 4, Game Changer gets it at Rage 2, and that allows you to exchange an Ambrosia token or I think it's just an Ambrosia or a Despair. During the second ability window, you may discard X Despair tokens or Ambrosia tokens to place X opening tokens in the Kratos pool. Yeah, so it is nice for, like, it's one of the only ways you can get rid of Ambrosia tokens with all the gear that we have right now. And if it is a nice way to like get rid of excess Despair tokens, which we might have to face with the Temenos. Anyway, amazing Titan. Here is my rendition of him. Maybe I'll show it in the other camera because the other camera has a little bit better lighting. Yeah. So some of the things that I'm super happy with are like the color transition on the cape, the whole spear. I was really surprised at how well that came out. Let's see, this was the 14th mini that I painted. I like number them at the bottom so I can tell how I improved over time. So yeah, this was a later Titan that I painted. But yeah, super happy with that. The thing that I think looks terrible is, I don't know if it'll show super well in the camera here. Also, I hope I've been showing that the whole time because I have not been watching the camera. It'd probably be better if I just did this view. Probably like, that whole time I'm talking about it, I'm probably like holding it way out over to the side and it's like you can't see anything. So yeah, there he is. But the thing that I think just looks so goofy is the water that I have at the bottom. The transitions from the blue to the white are so bad. My base is not painted all the way around. It just looks, it's just very juxtaposed with like the water versus the rest of the paint job. But yeah, it's a nice piece to keep around to be like, I have done better than this. Yeah, and some of those spots are not really that well filled in because I used, what are they called? Did I use, oh, actually, no, I might have done actual paints for this one instead of speed paints. Anyway, let's see, what do we need to do to wrap this up? Okay, so we got the Game Changer Titan. We're gonna get the bronze layer technology. That's gonna have some cool stuff on it. I don't think we really need to go into those details right now with everything, but it does have the ability to craft game changers as well, or breed them. So unlike the other Titans that we have so far, this is a breeding technology. So if we lose a Game Changer Titan, you can just sacrifice 1 normal Dreamwalker, and then in 20 days you can get a new Game Changer Titan. Alternatively, if you do have Pursuer Cores, which I think we have 1, maybe 2. Let me check. You can, what does it say? Lose 1 Pursuer Core and 1 Dreamwalker Titan to immediately gain a Game Changer. So if you do happen to have Pursuer Cores, you can still get it more quickly, but yeah, okay, we have 2 Pursuer Cores. Okay, and then what's the rest of the stuff here? Sinister Awakening, if you are still in cycle 1, ignore adversary symbols until the end of the cycle. If you are in cycle 2 or later, add the Sinister Awakening event to the timeline 5 days from now. See cycle 2 book for details. Womp womp. And then Tides of Fate, reset Triskelions. I'll take care of that offline. Subtract 3 Argo Fate. We can do that now. Boom, boom, boom. Gain resources for each BP card in the wound stack. You gain the resources indicated in the upper right of the blah, blah, blah. We did not get any pursuer cores. Okay, so we can go ahead and get those resources now. It's like one of the last things that we do on camera. See, there's a 2, replace this double wound, we'll replace it with this. And then we need another BP3 because I just did not add a second generic wound in here. So let's get another BP3 here. Boom. Oh, so at least one of the other BP3s that was in our deck was the Black Blood Cryptex. There's a BP3. BP1, 1, 2. So these would be the last pursuer resources we're going to get. So hopefully we have enough to craft everything we need. So we're going to get 2, 4, 6, 10, 14, 18, 20 grotesque beaks. 2, 3, 4. Okay. And then 2, 4, 6 powdered matter, if I'm counting that correctly. And then casualties, discard all conditions and tokens from Titan sheets. Note dead Titans on the Argo sheet. Boom, we didn't have any dead Titans. Yeah, so I think we already kind of like debriefed from how this fight went. But I do still like to close off the video on that. So yeah, like I don't think this fight could have gone much better. I mean, it would have been great to crit on a BP3 and get another core because this will be the last fight that we have with the Pursuer. It also would have been nice to be able to get the crit on the Black Blood Cryptex for the sake of being able to mark something on our choice matrix, but like you can't control that. Everything else, like everything that I think we can control, we did a good job of controlling. I think the positioning was very good. I mean, combined with getting some good BP responses that like were not hard for us to take. Ulysses' Familiar Curse came into clutch, and I really hope I didn't misuse that in some way. But her getting that danger early on and then being able to take knockdown conditions from other Titans was amazing. Like, low-key, I think that makes her kind of the MVP of the fight, because that was huge, because she was able to take those conditions and then she was already positioned in a way where she could get an attack off and then still get her like stand up and all that stuff back. So that was really good. I'm glad I caught that, because I think this is the best result I've ever had from using Familiar Curse in that way. So I'm super happy to like get that satisfaction from finding a cool use case for that Nemos. What else? Yeah, positioning was good. Thinking ahead in terms of all the attacks and the order of the Titans that we wanted to do, I think was important and did really help us out a lot. I had the one miss where when Solon was getting attacked by Solon was getting attacked by the AI, and I was debating if I wanted to try to avoid the pushback. And my thinking was, if I avoid the pushback, then the Pursuer will do the signature against Logic Breaker. I think it ended up working out in our favor that's not what ended up happening, but that's an area where like I did misthink that. I wasn't thinking far enough ahead. and that did have an opportunity to hurt us, but luckily didn't. Is that what ended up leading to us getting the bonus attack, or was that before? I don't remember. Good rolls. This is probably some of the best rolls that we've had on any of our battles that have been recorded. So if there was a fight to do this in, it was this one. Yeah, I'm super happy with this. Like, this was my goal to do for this cycle. It's going to make cycle 2 harder early because we'll see that when we get there. But I think it's going to be fun starting off cycle 2 with equipment that I didn't have until much later in cycle 2 in my first run. So just another thing to kind of change things up from the current fight, or from previous run through to now. Super exciting stuff. All right, I'm going to wrap this up because I need to get some things set up for game night with my friends, and stop just being a loner and playing this game by myself in my basement. But I have you folks watching me, so I'm not alone, right? But yeah, thank you for watching. I appreciate your time. And I'll see you in the next video, when most likely we'll be concluding the story for this cycle. Take care.